everybody.
On the next topic.
You might notice somebody is missing.
He may or may not show up.
We know he's going to show up.
Well, I was going to go with a bit where he sent a weird text, he's fighting off people. But
he sent a text where he's fighting off people.
Like zombie people, and said he may or may not make it.
Yeah, that's totally what's happening. He's not literally just in the other room changing after being a little bit late, where we considered starting earlier, but then we wanted to top off our drinks, and now we're just replaying the bit and explaining it to you.
Yeah. So, today, we're going to talk about how RJ's mom is a zombie.
This is news to me. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, RJ, your mom's I can't even...
I feel like we should just cut this. This is terrible.
No, it's good. We are keeping this. Anyway, so we're going to be talking TV.
TV in general. We'll try not to touch on the stuff we've already touched on. No superheroes this week. No superheroes.
Unless one of our favorite TV shows happens.
Nope, no superheroes.
So, yeah, no, we won't.
You can say the name of a television show that's superhero, but it ends there.
Yeah, I think, we'll be talking, we won't touch on, I would say, Westworld and
Game of Thrones, Avatar.
Anything we've talked in the past, we're going to try and stay away from. That way it's some new stuff. I think more, it's going to be sitcom.
I think, yeah, primarily it'll probably be.
I think sitcom with...
Sitcom, kind of like the / mockumentary, that kind of stuff.
Mockumentary?
Like what The Office is.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
It's not a sitcom. Sitcoms have laugh tracks.
Really? Is that the actual
That's how I assume it is. Because I don't think anyone would count The Office as a sitcom.
Yeah, well, it's definitely mockumentary, but I didn't know. I guess it's true. Sitcoms are... But what if it's like a sitcom-style show, which I can't actually think of one, without a laugh track?
Well, until you can come up with an example, I'm not going to believe it exists.
I was looking for inspiration in this.
I know. So
Breaking Bad isn't exactly inspiration for a sitcom.
No, it's not a sitcom at all. At all.
It has funny moments, bitch. That's what I did because Jesse Pinkman.
You're right. Having funny moments, that's all it takes to be a sitcom nowadays. Or actually, it seems like it doesn't always have to have funny moments. But more on that later. See, I kind of thought Jay was actually going to walk in a lot sooner than he is. I don't think he actually knows that we've started yet.
No, I really don't. It really makes me wonder if he's taking a dump or something.
Well, it makes it a lot harder to... Because I don't want to get too far without him.
That's true.
But it makes it harder for us because we got to riff off the fact that he's not here. Alright, improv time.
So, in a world... Take it from there.
Where lettuce is people.
And tomatoes eat the lettuce.
Two brothers!
Which...
They're fighting a volcano.
And
a tornado. Also, there's old ladies in it.
And clowns.
See, I'm better at just... Sometimes poorly quoting, but quoting...
Yeah, I was actually
stuff. I'm not a very good improv person.
See, I'm better at... I'm decent at improv. You were improving using the improv in the show that we were referencing.
Yes.
Which, if you guys haven't caught that, is...
Rick and Morty.
Which
we'll probably talk about a little bit. Although he hasn't finished it. Which is funny, because I started watching it after him 2 days ago.
Yeah. Forgive me for having a life and being sick.
Yeah, being sick is the perfect reason that you should have finished it by now. Also, you're an insomniac, so you should have finished it by now.
Yeah, but when I'm sick and I'm something, I just wanted to lay down. I didn't want to have to, That and my sickness was a stomach flu, so it's hard to pause a television show every 5 seconds, go puke and shit.
That's why you bring... Well, okay, can't...
I was watching it on
I was
my
Xbox.
Say,
I was gonna say you could bring the trash can to puke in, but I don't think you want to poop in that as well.
Well, that and pretty sure our trash can's full, and being sick, I'm not gonna take the trash out. That's the last moment
Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna do it.
Wow, he's taking a really long
He
time.
really is. It's like, at what point do we actually decide we should keep this or start over? Right. Like,
Oh wait, I hear footsteps.
Are we just gonna stare at a door that the camera doesn't?
No, that's
like,
pretty boring.
The audience doesn't actually know there's a door there. For all you know, the door's over there.
Yeah. Hey, there's a door over there.
Or we're staring.
You'll probably
at
see it a little bit when it opens, because it'll cover up this poster a little.
Was that in the actual camera view?
I don't remember how far it goes. I forgot to turn that around. So, hey,
Oh,
there he is.
It's Jay, everybody.
Woo!
Are we filming already?
Yeah, you took a little bit longer
The
than we
concessions
thought.
you guys make for me, I love it.
Well, the whole joke.
This is what happens when we try to do a Friday. But that's
Yeah.
okay. This is our first Friday one, actually, I think.
It
It
is.
is, well,
Woo!
the funny part is
Hey, everybody.
we thought you were gonna come in a lot sooner.
Yeah, I did too. But then I was like, I forgot my beverage, and I was like, I gotta fill the water with the.
So then we were trying to come up with stuff to say without getting too far.
Without getting to like actually touching the details
Exactly.
I
that I hit
love
on
how
today.
you put cologne on.
I did. Well,
It's-
I was.
it's very-
I'm sorry.
Strong.
Shoot. Shouldn't have fan on or
I'm
something.
suddenly attracted to it.
No, I
Guys,
was.
this is gonna get weird.
I was running around and I didn't want to like smell, so you know, I thought I would try to like. What do you guys think? It's pretty good.
No,
good,
I'm it's hard not to lick your
Lacoste.
neck right now.
Yeah, I tried. It didn't work.
Is that Sex Panther?
No.
Oh.
Lacoste. It's like the
Oh.
gator one.
Oh.
I don't even
They
know.
use real gator for it.
They
Yeah.
use chunks of
Just
gator.
don't tell PETA,
Or
please.
is it gator semen? I need
Wow.
to know. I need to know.
Wow.
So next topic,
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so
TV. Back to TV.
Yeah, what did you guys talk about? I
Well,
was
we
so
didn't really
excited
talk
for
about
today's episode just to say I can't wait to talk about Desperate Housewives and Sex
Oh,
in the
God,
City.
dude. Oh,
and,
yes.
Yeah, and Real Housewives of Atlanta. Oh, woo!
How-
Cutting you
Atlanta!
off right now. Finish it.
how
We're
many
done.
Housewives shows are there out of curiosity?
Not that we will actually talk about this, but there's like 80. About 80 too many. Like literally wherever there's a city in the US, there's
Is there
some
Desperate Housewives Albuquerque?
there's some group that's like, you guys, we should try to get on air. Like, I hate you, we can create all this manufactured drama, hate each other, and we can like get rich.
Well, I'm
So,
here if you need to talk.
Yeah.
I'm here
We'll
if you need
talk
to
about
talk.
it.
So, that is another reference to Rick and Morty.
Rick
Have
and
you
Morty.
seen Rick and Morty?
Rick and Morty. It rings a bell. I don't know.
Dude,
Probably
that's a
not.
no.
You need to watch Rick
Is this
and Morty.
what channel is this on?
It's Adult Swim.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So
maybe I
he-
have seen a couple.
It's on
of
Hulu.
I walked in and
Because you have my Hulu account on
Do
your
I?
Xbox, because
That's
your
how I
wife
use
uses
it,
it to
too.
watch Grey's Anatomy.
That's how she was watching Grey's Anatomy last
Yeah.
night. I actually caught that episode last night. It ended really well.
Don't finish that
I'm not.
sentence.
I'm just saying, like Big Bang, some of these long-running seasons have lulls, and you're just like, what are we doing? And then every now and then they'll have one good episode, and you're like, been waiting for that the whole time, guys. Thanks, writers.
Just because it's annoying me that that's not flipped, I'm going to stand up in the middle and be really unprofessional. Okay,
No, you can't be more unprofessional than I already
Good,
was.
it is recording.
All right.
I just didn't want to sit here for an hour
Yeah.
and then have it not recorded.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because then we'd
Because
lose
I
all
can't
this
monitor
great
it.
content.
Exactly.
So,
Rick
I guess,
and Morty.
Well,
Yeah, well, so literally I walked in the other day and he was watching it. And
So let everyone know, this
2
is how-
days ago, I've already finished. Granted, there's only 2 seasons and they just started the 3rd
so
season.
to let
Okay.
everyone know, that's how RJ's been getting, like, attached to shows lately, is he comes home and I'm watching him and he's like, wow.
Skin Wars,
Yeah.
Apparently.
Face Off,
Exactly.
Rick and Morty.
I'm the one who got you onto Westworld, though.
Yes,
Oh my
but I got
gosh.
you onto that 70
and-
show.
Did you actually
Yeah.
finish all of Westworld?
Yes, I am.
Oh.
We had a Westworld
I know you
episode.
did, but-
Somebody clearly didn't watch it.
I purposefully did it because of that subject. I'm so stoked to watch it. Have not got around to it yet.
Yeah.
But
So, but yeah, so RJ, that's how he's.
But yes, he
been-
liked it, but we're not going to talk about it on this episode since we already talked about it.
okay.
We will-
You guys already
once-
touched on it
Once
before I got
you
here.
watch it, we can bring it back.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
You need to actually watch it.
Yeah, for sure.
So, anyway, Rick and Morty, great show. You haven't. It's kind of. We describe it as like Futurama.
It is very, very similar to Futurama.
Okay. I can get behind
And,
that.
yeah.
Well, less main characters is Futurama, though. I would say.
Barely.
I feel like shows that have too many characters like really suffer. If
Well,
if it's not real
Actually,
well
that,
written,
that,
or if
I would
it's
say
like
that
tied
kind of
in
goes
together.
into mine. I was just going to quickly throw this out there. My favorite show not counting Game of Thrones. Again, we've
The
already
Office.
talked about it. The Office.
Office,
And
is
that
up there, of
has
course. That
a
does
ton
have
of
lot.
characters, and I feel like almost every single one of them is like a good character. Even the ones that I hate, they're still a good character because they make you hate
And-
them, like Kelly.
Yeah, but you know
I
enough
dislike
about
her
him. You
character.
dislike Kelly?
I dislike Ryan, but they're still good characters in the show as a
Their
whole.
relationship weirds me
It's a
out,
weird
too.
relationship.
It's like a love-hate thing.
It's-
Like literally. Like
he feels
hate
stuck
you,
with her,
I love
and then when
you.
he doesn't have her, he's like, I kind of miss her.
Remember when he was trying to get with her again when she was dating Daryl, and she's like he's helping her draft the message that's like the breakup text, and then gets a reply back from Daryl. It's like, oh, okay, that's cool. And she's like, oh my god, we could be together, woo! And then Ryan's like, he was
What have
like
I
really
done?
trying to get her back, and then just like how easy it was, he was like, oh no, like this was a mistake. But
So yeah, that to me that is my all-time favorite show.
Well,
The Office.
let's.
The Office, oh yeah,
Dude, The Office is so.
no, oh my god,
Well, and I
love
remember
that.
having you told me like The Office, like for years, and I was having a hard time because like
Because that first season
no,
was difficult.
and I sat down and I watched a couple episodes of
It
the
is a
first
little
season.
different.
Yeah, and
Well, have you ever seen any of the British Office?
I was gonna bring that up. I only saw the pilot of that one actually, the Ricky
Well,
Gervais one.
it's
But the whole
exactly
first
the
season's
same
the exact
as-
same, right? Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
my.
And I
friend was saying.
hated the British Office.
Well, see, it's
Sorry,
a little-
not funny.
It's British
And that's
humor.
why I don't like the first season of The Office, because they tried exactly
The
the same
exact
thing.
same.
and I think like I'm a really big fan of British humor and British TV.
I mean, I like
Well, have you seen it?
An Idiot Abroad,
Uh-huh.
not to skip ahead to anything, but I was
Yeah,
going to bring that up.
But no, I have I've seen The Office.
Yeah.
I'm on the last season of The Office, and I have like a couple episodes ago where I've pretty much
the
like
finale is so good.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's like that last season's so hard to like power through. I kind of
I
put it
liked
on
the
hold.
last season better than the season before that.
Really, I think it's just the season before
Because
that
they
was
got
so
rid of
hard.
Robert California, and he's the worst character that they ever created. He is
Oh
not.
no, yeah.
He's the one character that
Who
they.
plays him again?
Ultron.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh my
James
god.
Spader.
There you go. I was spacing his name.
But I mean, they're for. And I don't know, for me, The Office, it was like RJ told me, like, you just need to get past the first season. It's like, okay, there are good parts in the first season, kind of how you're saying, like, how even bad
Well,
seasons.
like the
and-
Diversity Day is funny episode.
Yeah. And I mean, but for me, instantly, is like the pranks that Jim pulls on Dwight.
Their dynamic.
Dude, it's something that makes you rethink your life of, man, I really wish I could do that.
I need
Like,
a Dwight. I
no.
need a Dwight in my life. That's the thing.
Exactly.
What if
And-
you are the Dwight? And you're
Well, then I'm not being a good enough Dwight. I
Fair
should be
enough.
scolding all you guys.
You know, and it's like Beats Bears and Battlestar Galactica is probably one of the things I quote most in
Yes.
my life. Anytime I hear something,
Bears eat beets.
We can say that The Office, like they have so many memorable quotes, and like they're like I feel like nowadays with social media, I see their memes and their
Dang it.
gifs everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
oh,
I meant to bring. I have a ream of Dunder Mifflin paper.
You do?
I bought
Oh,
it
man.
for. So I was in a like sales class in
Yeah.
college, and our final was to pitch a product, and so I had Dunder Mifflin shirt, and I bought one of those reams of
Dude.
Dunder Mifflin paper and went up and like pitched Dunder Mifflin Albuquerque.
Yes.
And then at the very end, I showed the commercial that Michael makes in that one episode. It's super awkward.
That's
Did
super
you
smart.
pass
Please
the
tell me
trial?
you got
I
an A
passed.
on
Of
that.
course
one.
I did.
For sure. Yeah.
did the teacher actually watch The Office?
That's the sad thing is he didn't have any.
She didn't understand the reference at all.
He thought I made up the entire thing.
At least
but
the class
at least the
knew.
class knew
Yeah,
what
the
I was
class is more with the
referencing.
times.
Were they just laughing?
Oh
all the
yeah,
time?
like
Oh.
I walked up and
Teacher's like,
they saw
guys,
the
keep
shirt,
it professional.
and one of the people in the front was like, "Oh man, I like your shirt." I was like, "Then you're gonna like the rest of this." Pull out the paper.
That's too great.
I meant to bring it just for this
Well,
episode.
My thing is
but-
too, like, you look at Michael Scott, and is hard. Like,
One of the best TV characters
dude, it's
ever, right?
like
My
you look at it,
opinion.
it's like I wish my manager literally his whole job was making me not work. Like,
Yet
Just
their
it's-
branch
I-
literally thrived with his management over all the other ones.
which makes no sense.
It's. I mean,
doesn't,
let's face it. In reality, you wouldn't want Michael Scott as a manager.
Probably
I
not.
don't
because you would not end up with a job because you'd get shut
You'd
down.
eventually end up maybe
or
being
he'd get
unemployed.
fired. But
It's so.
Hey, you have no idea how high I can fly.
I just love, like, I don't know, for me, like, Michael Scott, too, has those cringe moments for me where it's like, you know he takes it too far, and you're like, I can't.
Like, oh my god,
Oh.
my favorite episode, Dinner Party, when they like invite Jim and Pam. Well, first of all, it starts off with like they're all working overtime because a big corporate assignment's coming due, and then he's like, "Forget corporate. We're not gonna do this. We don't stand for this." And then he clicks, and then he goes back to his people, and he's like, "So, what are you guys doing tonight?" And they're like, "Nothing, because we were working overtime." And he's like, "Well, you should come over for dinner because you're obviously not working out. And no, you don't have plans."
You just have the shocked
And you're
look
just
of
like,
Jim, like,
holy shit, Michael Scott was a genius. He just pulled this off. And even Jim and Pam were like,
We have no excuses.
and then
and
like
it's just super awkward.
super awkward with Jen and her freaking
Well,
candles.
in their TV, remember their TV? It's like this small little
And it like
TV.
pulls out. You could change the viewing dynamic.
And then, like, don't they end up fighting?
Oh, they
Like,
end up
And
fighting.
she throws
from-
a Dundee at it.
And then he's like, "Thanks for that, babe. How are you gonna pay for that with your $0 salary?" And then like they're talking about like how he wanted kids and he got like what is
Snip,
it?
snap, snip, snap, snip, snap.
Vasectomy. Oh my god, that was one of my favorite episodes. But there's tons.
Oh yeah, like
Oh, dude, it's...
burning his foot on the grill.
Oh yes, I just want to smell bacon in the morning.
The rabies walk, bagel day.
Oh, there are so many.
So, I think... Okay, so...
I could keep.
yeah,
I could
yeah.
keep
No,
going.
it's one of my favorites.
What is your
too,
favorite
absolutely.
prank?
Oh my gosh, favorite prank. There's a couple. I remember one where I think when Jim was at the other branch
when he
and
sends
he's
stuff
sending
to
faxes
Dwight
to Dwight
from the
from the future, and then he like the coffee's poisoned, so make sure no one
He
drinks
goes
it. He's
and
like,
he likes-
I would say my favorite prank. It's hard because I actually think some of his later seasons pranks are really funny, like the one where he switches with Asian Jim,
Yeah,
or the where he frames Dwight for his murder in the hotel room. But my favorite one obviously has to be where he dresses up as Dwight comes in and
oh, and then
He's
acts
like-
like him. There was another
That
one that I really liked where they were having like a garage sale at their warehouse, and he was
magic
like
beans.
the magic beans.
Or sorry,
was
no, the
like,
legumes.
the legumes, right? And then the episode ends. Finally, Dwight's like bartering with everybody, gets a cool thing, and he's like, "I guess I'll get the beans." And he gets the beans, and he plants them, and then the
walks
episode
away.
ends with him walking away and Jim coming around with all the plants already like freaking growing into full trees, and you could just like, gosh.
I think like that, or the one with the red cord. He puts the red cord in
where
Dwight
it
doesn't
goes
see,
all the way.
and it goes all the way in, so Dwight's following this cord, and it goes like up
like
this
a
pole.
phone pole.
And he literally is like, I saw like I could get this like long piece of cord for cheap. He's like, totally, and like Dwight just goes following it all over the place, like something like that. It's just like that's so genius.
Like
No,
I
it's-
think
it's really good.
there's definitely multiple shows from like this kind of generation that are gonna be remembered. Like you have Friends or you have Seinfeld that are kind of like the last
Those are-
generation that are, but they're like they're classics. Everyone knows them.
Absolutely.
And The Office is definitely one of those.
Office is one of those. I would even equate like
Like
you
an
were,
Office board game.
yeah, no, I had another Office memorabilia. I bought something from NBC because I love that show. I forgot what it was, but like you were saying, Friends, Seinfeld, that was the previous generations. Popular TV shows are classics now. I would almost equate How I Met Your Mother, Hi Mem, as
Yeah.
like our generation's Friends.
Oh, it
Well,
definitely
see,
is.
and I think, like,
in
that's-
very many ways.
Like Friends, like I grew up, my mom watched Friends. Obviously, like when I
We
was
watched
a
it
kid.
too. I feel like we were on the very back end.
Yeah, and I do feel like I've gone back and watched Friends, and it's like, it's not my favorite.
So
It's not.
I didn't dislike it, but I am personally not a fan of Ross or Rachel, and that's the whole the series
Those
is
are the
built
major
so much
love
around them.
interests.
To be fair, I'm not a big fan of Ted and Robin either. They are my least favorite characters of the
But
show.
that's also why.
But I like Chandler, and and
He's
Joey's
the-
all right.
yeah.
Joey's
And
kind of
Phoebe's all right, but whereas I feel like Marshall and
Ted.
Lily and Barney are just such great characters.
Right.
I like them, and I think like with Friends, that's gonna sound super highly, stupidly critical.
We just lost all our fans.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm just kidding.
But it's like
Who
meeting
knew?
at a coffee
knew?
shop doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me either. Like at least in like How I Met Your Mother, it's like at the
It's
end
a
of the
bar.
day, it's a
It's
pub.
yeah, it's
It's
end of
a
the day.
pub. And like they're
Is that
like,
coffee shop open 24/7, guys?
Yeah. And,
They're like,
and-
yeah, let's meet there at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
all right.
So that's weird, and I don't know. I do feel like obviously Friends was like one of the first big sitcoms. You
Well,
know?
yeah, one of the
so
most
they kind
amazing.
of set the standards, and there are real funny moments, but I do feel like they hit like what being the first sitcom. What every sitcom kind of hits is just drags on a lot, and they kind of redo stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
so for me, it was like going back and watching it. There were a lot of really. I'm not saying I hate it. It's just.
No, I really enjoy it,
feel
but
like
I get what
it's
you guys are saying,
over.
for sure.
I feel like it's been overrated. Everyone's like Friends is the greatest. And
It's not
like,
my favorite.
exactly, and it's
And
like
it
Friends
is-
is good, but I wouldn't say it's like the greatest
No, I hear
TV like in the sitcom. Thing.
I wasn't
like,
even big
I-
on Seinfeld, to be
and I-
honest. Like,
Well, we'll get to that in a second. I wonder if your opinion on Friends to How I Met Your Mother changes on which one you saw first, or like truly saw. Because like you as a kid, I feel like
probably caught
you wouldn't have
episodes
ever.
you
No,
enjoyed
but I
it.
went back and watched Friends before I watched How I Met
Did you?
Your
And you
Mother.
still like it more? Okay.
And
Because
I like
honestly,
How I Met Your Mother more.
I did How I Met Your Mother first, and
Yeah.
then went back and watched.
But I do
Friends.
think, like, for me, though, Jason Segel, like, I love the shit out of that actor. Like,
Yeah, no,
in
he's
him
great.
as Marshall, just, I don't know, for me,
isn't it weird? His name is Marshall, and he's in the movie
Forgetting
Sarah
Forgetting
Marshall.
Someone, yeah.
I actually saw Get Him to the Greek. It was on TV last night. and
Really?
I just saw a
that's one of my-
snippet that
that's
was
one of my
like,
faves.
Aldous Snow was like, yeah, I used to bang
I
that
used to
girl.
bang that girl.
And it's like her in a commercial. It's,
Yeah.
Anyway, random non sequitur.
No, there you go. But for me,
But Marshall,
I do, like, Marshall's one of
Jason
my...
Segel, Segel,
Seagull?
definitely not
Seagull?
Segal,
the Seagull.
the
Seagull.
Seagull.
Jason the Seagull.
That
But,
guy's tall too, no?
dude, he's
a
just,
beast.
But he's just so... Everything
But he's
about
the
him...
shortest in his.
But it's like then, and then you have like Neil
That's
Patrick
right.
Harris, who
Who is a local from here?
Yeah, he is.
yes,
least-
he is.
yeah.
He, is
He
from-
went to our high school.
Yeah, and he grew up
props.
in Ruidoso, which
fun
we
facts.
worked in Capitan, which is
And we would spend weekends
we
around.
did in
us.
Ruidoso, yeah.
There you
And
go.
his family owned.
They had a restaurant here.
yeah, a restaurant here.
Yeah,
they,
I've been
they,
there.
I don't think it's
I don't think
because they moved out with him.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just feel like the cast to me, like again, the Friends cast is so like obviously Jennifer Aniston's still a big actress, and
But no one else
Courtney
really
Cox.
did anything after that.
Courtney Cox a little bit.
Sorry, she did, but
Like
Just
every
a
Matthew
smattering.
Perry did a little.
Yeah, just a smattering of stuff,
But
really.
in-
For
I
them.
feel like that's kind of. I mean, look at How I Met Your Mother. What else has Ted been in?
Nothing.
That's literally the only thing I've
Like
seen him in.
Robin, Lily, and
Robin's in some
Marshall.
stuff.
Robin, Lily, and Marshall.
Colby
are-
Smulders?
I mean-
she's in Avengers, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, Allison. It's Hannigan, right? That's her last name.
Yeah.
I mean, she was in
Sure.
stuff before that.
Yeah,
of
American
course.
Pie.
Well, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh, see? There you go.
I'm full of nerdy knowledge, guys. Anyway, but I
That's
don't know.
okay.
For
We
me, the
embrace that here.
Friends, like, I think I got more attached to the How I Met Your Mother characters than I did the Friends characters. I think the Friends characters I was attached to because I knew the history behind the show and, like, how much, like, my family liked and watching the show first. But I just connected. And this is also a generation thing. Like, I just connected
our
more with the
generation.
How
It's
I Met
true
Your
because
Mother
there, like,
characters.
but there's also just I think the kind of time period connection too, where like there's like an entire episode based off Chandler getting like this brand new top of the line laptop. You're like, my phone's better than that now, and so it's
Right.
like you just have like some of those changes where it's like maybe you can't fully relate,
relate.
to the stuff that they're going through.
And
I
I do
guess.
feel like
That's a good point.
And I will say, Friends seemed more like an adult show. Like it, like all the situations were to adults. Where I will say, How I Met Your Mother was more people in their 20s becoming adults.
Well, you can say the same for Friends, though, because
See,
none
I
of them,
feel-
none of them really
I
had
would say that it
careers
started
at
that way and then grew, but I think,
both of them are
kinda
kinda
did
like that, yeah.
But I feel like How I Met Your Mother, like, because me, I started watching How I Met Your Mother when I was like probably 18, 19. It was like.
Well,
like,
there's
when
adult
Ted and
themes
Marshall,
with that
like,
too,
Ted,
though.
Yeah, but Ted and Marshall have like the swords and they like room and all the time, and they fight.
I have a sword and
Exactly, and so do I. And then they have the fight, and it's like me and my like I understand. Like,
Yeah, but
that's
you
more
relate to
child-
that, though.
exactly, and then that's what I'm saying. Like I just feel like the Friends going back like doesn't relate to what people like our age were going through, kind of at their stage.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Friends doesn't do flashbacks, right? Because that's one of my favorite parts of How I Met Your Mother is like the flashbacks.
Sandwiches.
And so that could be another reason why I kind of like. Well, yeah, and the fact that because
I love
he's
sandwiches.
and because he's telling it, you have those jokes where they carry through the full
Yeah,
or like
yeah,
the
yeah.
full series.
I don't believe Friends has. If they do have,
I think
they
they
don't
might.
do them.
I've only watched Friends one. Friends once. I've been meaning to at some point rewatch it and see if maybe kind of know.
I
I
want
don't
to say
know.
they
I don't
do,
think they
but
do
I
it as
mean,
often. I don't think they do it as
yeah,
often.
probably not.
Like, and definitely...
They definitely do because there's the Fat Monica stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yes, very true.
But I
Ross
feel
with
like
the mustache.
their
whatever.
stuff doesn't carry on as much, like, with Marshall with his car. Like, the flashbacks in the car and all. Like, I feel like the How I Met Your Mother does more with the flashbacks than Friends did.
Yeah, probably.
Again, they're very similar shows, and I don't think any of us. Again, we're not saying that Friends is bad if you like Friends more.
Yeah,
It's still a good show. I just like How I Met Your Mother more.
And I think
So what do you guys think of that last season?
God.
For me, it was the hardest, and I think, and we'll touch on this probably with some other shows here in a minute. But
So I will tell you, I'll lead it off. I loved the person for the mom,
The mother was a good choice.
and it's like you fall in love with her, and then the last episode makes you want to just kill everything.
the last season
Yeah.
for me,
the
except for the
last
last-
season.
up until the point where they're in the ice rink with Neil Patrick with Barney and Robin, and they have that huge spectacle. I think that's when the season started to get good, and the rest of the episodes
For me, it's
were
like
better.
this one. The whole
But
previous.
seeing Marshall on a car ride to get there for 18
Well,
episodes,
yeah, because
it was just like, come on.
Because what happened was, if you guys don't know, is it was originally supposed to end with the 8th season, and then NBC was like, "Hey, we want another season."
Yeah.
So then they had to stretch out like an
CBS.
entire. Yeah, sorry. Was it CBS? Okay. They had to stretch. I never watched it. Like
So-
I watched it live, but never.
It doesn't matter.
Was it supposed
on
to have
TV.
the ending it did originally? Still.
Yes.
I feel like we were supposed to
They
know the
shot-
mom, though, right?
Well, so because they shot the scenes of the kids,
Kids,
reacting
oh,
to
that's
that
right.
back in season 2.
Yeah.
That's why they don't grow up.
That's
They just
true.
kept it a secret.
Yeah.
I don't actually think we were originally supposed to really see much of the mother. Certainly not to the extent we did.
Yeah.
But yeah, because of that, then you drag out like this 48-hour period over an entire
A weekend.
season.
Like the whole
Watch-
last season's set over a
Watching
weekend.
it, because again, I originally watched it as it was coming out week to week, and that was rough. Rewatching it, where you can kind of just binge them, it's
It's a lot easier. I
I
bet.
prefer
Better?
binge watching.
Yeah.
but it's still not great. Just because I agree, the mother is so perfect for Ted. The fact that they just like
Wrote her off so
well,
fast.
and the fact that
almost.
the entire season is built around the marriage of Barney and
Robin.
Robin, only to they get married, and then 5 minutes into the final episode,
They're
it's
divorced.
immediately following they get divorced, and then Ted gets back with Robin. You're like, what the heck? Like, what was the point?
Well,
of all
and
this?
so
Yeah,
here's-
it felt
here's
like a
my
cop out
debate,
a little
too.
bit. I
Here-
love the show, but
Yeah, no.
the ending I wasn't a huge fan
And
of.
here's my debate with the whole Ted ending with Robin thing. It's like he talks about the mom being so great, but he's so fast to go back to Robin.
Well, even the kids mentioned that. They're like, this is a story about mom,
Well,
but you keep talking about
and-
Aunt Robin the
yeah,
entire
To me,
time.
that comes across as like it almost. I see that as like it ruins the relationship between Ted
And
and
the
the
mom.
mother, because
I agree.
clearly he's not ever past Robin, so it's like that
No.
kind of. It's like you two were like so good, and you claimed that you were in love with her,
Mm-hmm.
but if you're so hung up that your entire story about the mother is all about
90%
Robin,
about
like
Yeah.
I feel like that just takes away from the
No,
relationship.
I
it
think
does. It does a bit.
that, and I don't.
I feel like it rubbed people the wrong way.
And I
a
don't
little
feel
bit.
like, and I get writing wanting to throw loops and stuff, but I don't feel like killing the mom. I would understand if it added something to the story, but
It
all
did. It allowed him to get with
no,
Robin. but-
exactly. That's the only thing, and
No,
that's
I know,
not a
but
good.
that's- it
That's
wasn't.
not
It
a
wasn't.
good.
But I
reason
think
to
you
do it.
them killing her still serves a purpose
Yeah, I'm not-
without him getting with Robin, because that's why he's telling him the stories, because
she's dead.
No.
Yeah.
And
that's why you never see her.
And
Right,
that's what
yeah.
I'm saying. But him getting back with Robin ruins
It-
that.
that-
a little
that
bit.
does a
That's
little bit.
why
And that's
It
I'm
does.
not. I'm
I
not,
choose to go with the alternate ending. That is
Marshall's
some-
ending.
No, not that one.
Oh.
That would be funny too. But there is like an official alternate ending that I think was released by CBS on YouTube or whatever, and it literally does end with all that stuff, and then he talks of like he talks to her at the train station, and it kind of just pans up and fades out, and it ends with
I
him
know what
saying,
you're
"And
talking
that's
about.
how I
did
met
see
your
that.
mother."
Yeah, see, I saw that
And
ending.
so
I know
does that mean the mom still dies?
Yes, but
Oh.
we just don't see it.
Yeah, but the way they ended it with the way RJ just described, like, it's very touching. It's very fitting. I almost feel like that's a better ending.
Yeah. Well, that's the point of an alternate ending. It's like, oh, we fucked up. Let's fix this.
They filmed them both at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm
They
still
didn't go
going-
back and then fix it.
Yeah. It's just. But I don't know.
So, one of my favorites, Hi Mim, but that last season was kind of rough. And the ending was,
and
questionable.
like I said, I don't disagree with them killing the mom. I just disagree with them killing the mom and then him going I really just wanted to be and then
I think that's literally the part that everyone disagrees with. And I don't think either of us are arguing.
Yeah, no, I'm
We're not
not arguing.
arguing, man.
I'm just stating my.
This is a safe
opinion.
space. But anyway, I mean, there's a lot of good shows out there, but there's a lot of longer running ones too. Have you guys felt like there's certain shows that you really liked for a long time? You're watching it, then you kind of just
say
fall
the one you want
out.
to get into and say Big
Well,
Bang
there's a couple
Theory.
I have that I look at, but Big Bang's like that.
We'll say Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory has overstayed its welcome by way too many seasons.
And we still get 2 more.
I
At
originally,
least.
I mean, I didn't see it when it first came out. I kind of knew it existed, but never watched it. My brother's now wife, at the time girlfriend, kind of introduced him to it, and then he introduced us to it. Because it was, it's not on Netflix or anything.
No.
So I watched, the first 4 or 5 seasons are pretty good. And that's because of the
I'd say
way...
7. Even
That's-
up to 7.
It is good, but I mean...
No, because at that point they're married already, I think.
Yeah, I don't.
You know what? I've lost count. I'm not going to
Either way, I think I stopped watching around 7 because I do not like Leonard and Penny together, and so the fact that they've made them now get together, they're a terrible match, and I know you agree with me. And then
Sheldon's annoying to you.
well, and Sheldon and Amy.
when is he
we've
gonna grow up?
We've just gotten past the whole premise of the show was 4 awkward single guys who are super nerdy and trying to figure out how to be in social situations.
Yeah.
And now it's they figured it out, and then they're just having to create some way that, here's a misunderstanding or here's a fight that we just kind of engineered or whatever.
Yeah, and it feels forced.
So, and
Especially now.
I agree with most of that. The part I disagree is I don't mind Leonard with Penny. I do think there were better people.
That's because you're Leonard, bro.
And
No, I'm
that's,
just kidding,
no,
I'm just kidding, I'm
no.
kidding, I'm kidding.
You're joking, but that's exactly right. Because for me, growing up a super nerdy kid, and
But you're not Leonard. Leonard is socially awkward.
Yeah.
Well, I was
They all
social,
were.
when I was in middle school. I was socially
Okay,
awkward.
but he's an adult.
But no.
Not you in middle school.
He's older
But
than us.
Yeah.
no. But even around girls, even in my older age, I was socially awkward, and so which
I
sounds
feel like everybody is at some point, just growing up.
But for me, I guess I could more or less.
You can relate.
I can relate to it, and it's the nerdy guy gets the hot girlfriend, which it's cool, and I can relate to that a lot.
But just being the hot girlfriend isn't the problem, because to me, I don't know if you remember the character Alex, who was Sheldon's assistant, the redhead girl.
No, and I think she
yeah.
was better.
She was the perfect match for him because the reason that Penny's not a good match is because she doesn't understand anything that
And that's the thing. I absolutely agree.
I'm not saying that you have to be the same because
But intellectually, you really think she's up
they're
there
not
with him?
they're not on the same level.
They're not.
And that's what I was gonna get with my brother and his wife. He's a lot closer to a Leonard in terms of he's very logical and he worked he's
Thoughtful.
a computer scientist and all that kind
Reasoning.
of stuff. Whereas she doesn't understand all that stuff. But
nature.
the thing is, intellectually, they're still on the same level.
Right.
Yeah.
They can carry conversation.
Whereas Penny she's an idiot.
She started going to school,
Ain't she's
community college.
Wasn't she a farm
Well, she did become a farm.
sales rep?
Yeah, which and she was making more money than he was.
Oh yeah, suddenly the money is equal to intellectual.
I mean,
She's buying her way.
ask a doctor or a lawyer.
Yeah, but that's very different than a pharmaceutical.
Yeah, those are a bit
It's
different.
true, but I feel like
I feel like you're trying really
Your
hard to
argument has
justify
no
this.
I think you're trying.
No, but I mean, as much as I am being dumb and arguing this, I do agree that the assistant was a better.
Also, she's a redhead, which, I mean, come on, who doesn't love a redhead?
RJ's hot for redheads.
Who's your
Anyway,
favorite redhead?
Well, so
Spiced out
it's
sour?
tricky.
it's gonna be
No,
the
I'm
girl
just
from Game of Thrones.
Christine
Oh,
Hendricks?
actually, she's pretty hot.
Oh, the Jon Snow chick?
yeah, I'm
Ooh,
blanking on her name right now.
I don't know.
She's
her name.
in
Actually,
Last
like,
Witch Hunter, which I just watched.
I really
Really
think,
good.
because she's actually natural redhead, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yes. The
I
curtains
think
match the drapes.
Scarlett Johansson in Iron Man 2 when she has the long red hair.
And she's kicking everybody's
Her
ass.
bottom teeth.
But then once she cut her hair in the later ones as Black Widow, I was like,
See, Scarlett Johansson.
Would you be
is
psyched
bottom
for
two that
a
thing.
Black Widow spinoff? It's
I'd
been
watch it.
rumored. It's been rumored.
It's
but-
been rumored for years.
I don't
But we're not talking Marvel. We're not talking Marvel.
Nope. Next
You
topic.
brought it to Marvel. Anyway.
No, you did by asking about redheads. Or
Yeah,
you
I'm
did.
sorry.
Yes, don't put that on me.
I'm sorry. It's not. It's always
But
my
anyway,
fault.
I do feel like she was a better match, but I feel like just Leonard gave hope to all us nerdy people, and that was the point of that. But I do see where you're coming from, the fact that, like... But, I mean, I see that... And I think it's hard, because, like, me and my girlfriend, like, she... This is going to sound weird.
I'm gonna get away from him before he says something that's gonna start a fight.
No. Like, movie-wise...
Now would be the time to stop. I'm just kidding.
Like, movie-wise and, like, comic-wise, I am extremely knowledgeable, and she does, like... The shows she watches, like, Grey's Anatomy and, like, The Bachelor...
Oh, good.
And
I'm
it's
not
like-
saying you have to have all the same
No.
interests.
If
And
you
I think,
did,
like,
that'd be boring.
So it's like I'm so knowledgeable in that, but like in math and stuff, she's so much more knowledgeable than I am. Like in science, like I'm not.
That's how Tina.
Yeah, exactly.
kinda-
But
But
I
again,
do.
that's not Leonard and Penny.
Yeah.
But I feel like
You were
like,
really trying to justify.
No.
this.
I feel like at like a social level, like their personality wise, they have a lot in common. No.
Do you not remember some
disagree,
of the
sir.
early episodes where he's trying to hang out with her and her friends, and they're like
No,
talking
I haven't watched any. I stopped at 7 because I didn't.
They're
want
like
to ruin it
talking
for me.
sports, and he has no idea what they're talking
Oh,
about.
I have seen. Okay.
He's sitting there like, I don't know.
I actually still wonder what they talk about.
That too.
That's
So-
fair.
But let's move on to something else.
Well, another show I was going to bring up that I think is very popular, and some people might not like my take on this. I don't care.
Please say it.
Walking Dead.
I'm actually in the same boat with you.
And this goes back
I
to kind
have
of what I was saying.
watched 3 seasons,
Yeah.
and then I just dropped
What?
off.
You
The
know,
second season was so bad that it like ruined it for me, and then because I liked the first season. Second season was garbage. Third season was all right, but it wasn't enough to redeem it to where I didn't care by the time the
I've
following
never
season
been
started coming
fully
out.
like, oh my god, this is good. I'm in. I've never been there with that show. And going back kind of what we were talking about a little bit earlier, or what I said earlier about maybe having too many characters. Their current seasons, you have a really badass villain, Negan. But beyond that, I can't get psyched about the groups that are so this way, that way, how they're intertwined.
I feel like
It's so dry. I feel like there's so much dialogue and not enough stuff and plot to tie it all
They
together.
don't focus on the zombies enough.
No, literally,
no, I
they
don't
don't.
even-
It's not even about the
so-
zombies anymore.
So that too, though, and I think here's the hard thing, the challenge.
It's a
that they
torture
have.
porn show practically now. No, really, with what Negan did in the beginning to Glenn and the other guy, Abraham, yeah, and then like some
I
other
haven't even
stuff,
seen the episode, and I know.
What do you mean?
But I knew
some
Glenn
other
was
stuff?
gonna die anyway.
like when he's taking the iron to the guy's face, and like it's just
So,
torture. It's like
here's-
I can't.
Here's
get
the thing.
psyched
I
about
think
that show
that The
anymore.
Walking Dead. So like me, I read the graphic novels.
Mhm.
I read they have the compendiums, which have like I think 40 issues each. So it's like 1 to 40, and then 41 to 80 or whatever. And so I've read both of those, and so I kind of have known more or less what was going on. And so I was really excited at first because I was one of the people that was excited. Like I was a Walking Dead fan before.
Like
It was
you
a
were
TV
very
show,
well aware
like,
of it before
yeah,
it came
and so
to TV.
exactly, and I was reading the comics when they were coming out, and so I was like super excited, and it's kind of see like for me in the beginning it was nice to see like their interpretation of it and how they were changing a little bit and what like storylines they decided to keep, and obviously there are some big differences. And here's the thing I have really decided that's hard about The Walking Dead is you want to create drama, right? Which means with a zombie show people have to die. But,
I get that.
But
That's
no,
fine.
and here's the thing.
I'm all for killing your
And
characters.
no, exactly. And here's the thing, though. With a show like that, it's really hard to introduce new characters and explain it and get you, like, kind of, like, really, like, for Glenn.
Game of Thrones is okay with that.
It's true.
I mean,
But
you can
Game-
argue that Game of Thrones kind of has a
Yeah.
similar setup and how many there's different groups and how they're all
But
tied
Game
together.
of Thrones doesn't, like, they can introduce...
But they can actually do storytelling. Boom! I said it.
Oh. But, I do feel like it is... But they are a little bit different because there are more, like, interactions. Because there are, like, where you say it gets really dull, and I understand because I got
If you
there.
say that the second season is good,
No,
I'm gonna kill
it
you.
gets dull, but no. It gets really dull. Like I almost stopped. Like I stopped watching it for a while, and then I had to go back to Netflix.
There's a lot
and
of
force
dry
myself
moments,
to watch.
man.
And that is why where I'm getting at is because it is zombies. It's a lot of them traveling and doing stuff to where it's. I feel it's hard to keep like an ongoing because if every episode is them just like being badass and just killing
and it shouldn't.
hundreds of
It shouldn't be
zombies.
that way.
But
It
I
shouldn't
feel
be
like
that
the
way.
thing
Not
is
every
that the
episode of Game
zombies
of
have.
Thrones is killing White Walkers.
Yeah.
By season 3, the zombie, really even by season 2 for most of it, the zombies were like put on the back burner. It was,
Yeah.
it was
They weren't the
more-
main threat.
It was like, here's 90% human drama. Oh yeah, hey guys, here's a shot of a zombie to remind you they
Go
exist.
deal with
Like,
them.
No,
It's a zombie show. I want to see zombies.
Well, and I think like this is something like even in the to give you the comments like once they get into like the prison area, like they are kind of set for a while, and I think that's it
So
feels
that- I
like in
don't
the show.
care
No,
about
but
that,
it
though.
feels like
I can't even get to that
But
point
so
where
here's-
they are.
so. Here's the thing I feel like with that is they're trying to show even though like even trying to have life in the zombie apocalypse, like you're in an area where the zombies telling you like life still doesn't exist like it will, and I
And it
feel,
shouldn't.
No,
It's
and
not
I feel like
expected
that's
that
how
it
they are,
will.
but there is stupid drama like how someone gets sick and then like you find out she kills the people and it's like taking one and they are creating that drama like and it's like
or
oh,
everything with Andrea.
which her
Thank
character
God she does.
her
Spoiler.
character actually I think in
It's
the
okay.
comics is still
You're rooting
alive.
for it.
Yeah, no,
That's
and her
true.
character was a lot more like Tyrese. His character was so awesome in the comics and stuff. They did do it a little different, but anyway, I feel like that's where The Walking Dead does have challenges. Though it's like, oh, we're focusing too much on human drama. Okay, we're gonna focus more on zombies, and then like their solution to that is just like them traveling, and it's like they're just traveling through the woods, and every now the zombies come and
Or-
like they kill the
Again,
zombies and.
it comes across to me as like manufactured drama where it's like, okay,
No,
hey, we need to
definitely.
go get, a resupply. Oh no, our car stopped working. Oh no, for some reason
Geico.
you
Yeah.
forgot to do
Yeah.
this and knocked over something and there's zombies.
Now
It's
there's
like-
zombies.
And I think
everywhere.
like my big thing is like, it's after they're in, is it Alexandria? The safe haven they're at now, but the doctor girl is like deciding to have like I'm a real person and I'm strong, like outside of the gates where there's zombies and other stuff where it's like you don't need to be yelling and having like a bitch fit.
You're the
right now.
doctor. We got people for this. How
Yeah.
about you go treat some
And
people?
it's like her whole thing was like, I can go out and it's like, so then people see him and then they shoot her.
Great.
through
Now we
the
lost our
eye.
doctor.
And so it's like, they're trying
Manufactured drama.
Exactly. And here's the thing is they're trying to
Like
stay
anybody
away.
in that group would be like, no, you're not leaving. You're the only doctor. You're
Exactly.
staying.
Exactly. And it's like, I don't care what you're saying. And then two, I feel like it is to the point where it's like, there are only so many of the main characters, right? Like from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And what, there's like 3 left at this
Yeah,
point?
and so with Glenn, everyone was like, okay, in the comics, we've heard things like Glenn dies here, and then they try and throw you off, so like, we're gonna kill
They tried
Abraham
to make it
too.
even seem like they were killing Glenn off earlier in the previous season.
Yeah,
And
and
you're
so
like
it's
wondering,
happened.
oh my gosh, is he
Which,
dead?
in all honesty, it's like, I get it, people have to die, and they have, so what they are doing though, which I don't agree with, even being like, I wouldn't say I'm a full-on fan of the show, but I still think since I'm like, I love the comics of it, like, I'm still trying to like, give the show, like, my attention, and like, okay, but I did like hit that spot. But they're trying to bring in these other characters, and then they're trying to like, get you attached to them and then kill them off.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you feel something for it, but it's like, no, it's not like when the doctor died, it's like, oh, one of the girls that came back like seasons ago, like that was her girlfriend and she died. I know it's supposed to be sad, and this sounds messed up,
You
but I'm
don't-
like, I don't
You
really
don't feel
care.
that. Well, you have to have that connection with
Exactly.
the character first.
And so it's like, so that's why I think finally they were like, okay, we're actually gonna kill Glenn and we're gonna kill Abraham, which are 2 people. But then for me, after
But even
that,
after that episode was great to start. It was very
Well, and
hard to
I've
watch.
heard
it was
that-
graphic.
It's losing its audience.
And I,
Like,
and I
of
can
that.
see why.
because of that,
But even beyond killing those 2 characters that people love, there was so much dull parts throughout that season, and then even the
See, and
season
I didn't-
finale wasn't
I didn't
great.
finish that season. I
Wasn't
saw
great.
Glenn die, and it kind of
Wasn't
affected
great,
me.
man.
But and I need to watch. I'm waiting for it to update on Netflix.
And then
stuff,
they
but-
tried to do a spin-off, Fear the Walking Dead. Did you guys even try to get into
So
that?
I'm actually.
I haven't watched it, but honestly, that almost sounds more exciting to me because at least then you know that there's zombies because that's
to a degree.
the whole.
To a degree.
Well,
Yeah.
I actually watched the first few episodes, and
And
I
we're
was
not
like,
really.
I'm not
No.
Still
into
too
it.
much humans.
So and that's what I think. Like it is hard.
And I'm not trying to like if you want to watch it by all means.
No.
But
And-
I couldn't
but
do
anything
it.
he has said has not swayed me.
No.
And
And
it should.
I'm not trying to. And here's what I'm saying. Like I feel like a zombie show. Like zombies are better in movie, because
We have a finite amount of time to work with.
exactly when you have a zombie show, it's like at what point is it just like non-stop zombie attacks to the point of
There was
like,
even like a
progressing?
fan petition or not.
Maybe you
petition,
should
but
just
like
end the show then.
No.
There was like a thing that a fan did, like calculating all the deaths of the zombies and like the time span of when the first season started to where they are now, and how like the probability of how many zombies there would actually be at this point if they were killing at the same rate they were throughout every season. It's
Plus
like,
the fact that they'd be decomposing.
yeah. So,
And they've shown
but anyway, next
So, no,
topic.
and
We
I
should
think,
hit
well,
the show.
well,
I
I
don't
wanna
want
add
to
one
spend
thing.
too much.
Next
time.
topic.
No, I just want to. It's just like for me. And I agree with you. What I want to say is, at what point do they end the show? Because it is.
They will eventually, but
And it is to a point. It's like because the whole comic book.
but they're
thing-
gonna play up this Negan storyline forever.
No, and I mean Negan's actually, in my opinion, kind of a cool bad guy.
No, he is, but
But-
and I love the actor Jeffrey
And so
Dean
here's
Morgan.
like
but-
here's my problem with the whole show in general. Is like the comics, like the dude that created them was like, I just want a comic series where you can keep following them, you know, past like the movie thing, and I think that's awesome. But I don't feel like it fits in a TV show, and it's getting to the same point where I would say, and probably past where it's at, but Big Bang Theory, where it's just like it's too much at this point.
And
the same jokes,
this
same gags
is
been
just
played out already.
a general thing, and I think, like,
That TV
thankfully,
shows hit.
Game of Thrones does have that. You have to have a set. This is when we're ending.
I almost feel like that's better. Absolutely.
because otherwise you do take the Big Bang route where it's just like, oh, we're so popular, we're gonna keep turning out crap, and people
Yeah.
keep watching it because of our name. But
Right.
like, whereas How I Met Your Mother unfortunately had that final season, but I feel like for
But
the
even
most
then,
part,
they
up to that
announced
point,
it
if
prior
they-
to that, though.
Like if they they had this end goal in sight, and so they can tie everything to it.
No, I definitely think it's one of the worst things TV shows can do. And it goes along with what actually was in Logan with, Hugh Jackman. He pretty much, like Seinfeld was talking to him. He's like, the worst thing you can do
Is overplay.
is talk to people and say, like, you've been doing this, like, it's just him in another film. And he's like, I don't want to do that. And I feel like TV shows do this. They're like, we're so great right now. But I feel like what makes a great TV show is to end it when people, like, are still hyped up about it. 'cause
Exactly. Not
if-
when they're dying off.
when
Or
they're
on a
dying on it,
decline,
and then
yeah.
the only reason you're ending it is because like people aren't into it, like we've taken it too far. And they're like, oh, so we're gonna end it. Like the best point is to end it when almost people want more, but like they're still hyped up about it. You know?
Well, so you brought up Seinfeld earlier, and then he brought it up there. So let's talk Seinfeld real quick.
All right.
I'll admit I didn't watch it until like a year and a half ago.
I watch parts here and there. I think the humor is very good. Jerry Seinfeld is a comedic legend.
Yeah.
But maybe it's just a generational thing too. For me, I wasn't big on it when it was in its heyday. And looking back now, there's a lot of stuff that I don't feel I can relate to as much.
It's an alright show. It has its moments that are like
For sure.
super funny, and then there's like the parts where I remember years before I ever watched it, like the soup Nazi was like the thing I heard about all the time is like one of the greatest moments, and I like finally watched the episode. I was just like, it's all right.
The
Like,
build-up was more, it was like
I think the thing that it does well is because it doesn't have an overarching storyline and the characters never grow, they can just be standalone episodes. They don't have to tie into something greater.
Yeah.
Well,
I think that's.
but that is
unique
also
thing.
kind of a weakness in some parts because you kind of get attached to the characters, but you don't see them grow. You don't
see them
it.
progress.
But again, that is the point of the show, is they're not supposed to grow.
Yeah, I think Seinfeld definitely took.
that's
are
where I
we
think The
considering that
Office
a
excels
sitcom?
real quick too. Is
Yeah.
like you have growth, you have progression, you have a great storyline, but you can almost pick any episode that's going to be playing on TV out there, and it can be fine as a standalone.
So, would you consider is Seinfeld considered a sitcom?
It has a
Yeah,
laugh track, doesn't
absolutely.
it?
RJ's whole.
Oh yeah, that was my thing. As I
Laugh
said,
tracks suck.
I agree with you. They
Yeah.
are really annoying.
Ugh.
But I said that I would kind of define a sitcom as having a laugh track because The Office is not a sitcom; it's a mockumentary.
Yeah.
Same thing with Parks and Rec.
Yeah. Parks and Rec. That's
Another one we're gonna
Yeah.
touch.
But
on
we
next.
couldn't come up with anything that we would consider a sitcom that didn't have a laugh, track.
So, and I think like so with Seinfeld.
I mean, even Big Bang has a laugh track.
yeah, it
And
does.
How I Met Your Mother did.
I didn't notice it
Walking
as
Dead
much.
doesn't.
That's not a sitcom.
Next topic.
I'm just trying.
Do we want
trying.
to say anything more with Seinfeld? Not the best
yeah.
finale.
No,
Yeah,
I wasn't crazy
I
about the
would
series
say
finale
like
either.
Seinfeld did something new, not having and like you
Well,
know,
again, it's because of the way that they built it. Like the whole idea of the finale was to show, like, hey, these people haven't grown up, and like
Yeah.
eventually it comes back to get you, kind of.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but no, I mean, Seinfeld to me, I don't know, it was good. I wouldn't say it was like my favorite and it was the greatest kind of show.
Like, would you go out of your way to watch it right now?
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
next topic.
So now that you've said it, Parks and Rec.
Yes.
So this may be, and I've talked to RJ. I have a hard time debating. I think I like Parks and Rec more than I like The Office.
And so
And
this
there are
goes
people
back
out
to
there.
my next theory that I brought it up with How I Met Your Mother and Friends.
Mm-hmm.
So far I don't think anyone has disproved this one for this. I think whether you like The Office or Parks and Rec more depends on which one you've seen first. I watched The Office
I agree.
first, and I like The Office more.
That's how I am too.
I still
watched
like,
Parks and Rec first, and I think I like it more.
and I like Parks and Rec a lot.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I actually haven't finished it all. Like
Whereas
watched it
my
all the way through,
brother,
but-
is the closest that I've come. I think is because he technically saw parts of The Office first, but he never finished it. He kind of watched like an episode or two while I was watching it. He would just see some of them, but he never bothered to go through it. Whereas he did go through all of Parks and Rec. So naturally,
And he
likes
leans
Parks
more
and Rec
Parks
more.
and Rec, yeah.
He's like I said, he's the closest to breaking that, but
That's a very good point.
So here's the thing I think that
maybe
Parks
my
and Rec-
sister breaks it. I don't remember.
So Parks and Rec and The Office did
They're shot similarly, given the fact
shot
that
similar. They're both kind of mockumentary.
Because it was supposed to be a spinoff.
Oh, there was
originally,
a point I
sort
think
of.
you had made, or somebody made recently, like, given Parks and Rec and how it's kind of like, it's parks dealing with recreation, you're outdoors, it's sunny, it's very bright, lively, happy.
Yeah.
As opposed to The Office, it's kind of indoors, desk job, Scranton, kind of gloomy, darker weather.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, somebody brought that up as like a personality
No, it's
choice based on like what people
Well,
perceive.
And I think like what both of them have done really well is they may have went like a season probably past what they should have, but I do feel like both. And I wouldn't even
Really?
say.
Well,
I wouldn't even
Parks
say
and
that.
Rec could have easily. I think it would have
It
been
could have ended.
absolutely fine if they had ended it one season before. And I was worried when they decided to go into the future for that final season.
I don't
but
feel like
I
it was
think
bad.
it was not the greatest season,
No.
but it was a good enough season that it still felt like a completion.
And that's
Right,
that's
it
what I'm
wasn't
getting at.
let
I
down
don't
per se,
feel.
but it wasn't
I feel like
strong.
The Office and Parks and Rec didn't push boundaries. I
The
feel,
Office pushed it a little bit.
and that's what I say. Maybe a
The
little
Office
bit.
was on, what, 12 seasons maybe?
9.
9?
8.
Wow, where did I get 12?
9.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's
nine.
Michael Scott
But-
and leaves at the end of 7.
So, but I do feel like
there's
it's
two
not
after
like when I was watching them, I didn't feel like I do with Big Bang Theory and stuff where I was like, man, they
Well, you
just
didn't
need
just
to-
go like, oh, what am I doing?
Yeah, and so they do. And so
Yeah.
for me, Parks and Rec, which is another show which actually does have a lot of characters as well.
And they're all pretty good. Like even
They're
people
well-rounded.
like even like Councilman Jam. Like you
Yes.
kind of like you're not a big fan of the guy, but it's still like
You get him.
it's Jam.
You get them.
So it's just, I mean, and then obviously I'm gonna say like my favorite, probably one of my like.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, no, it's like Chris Pratt, and so it's like
Ron
Dwyer
Swanson is
and-
my favorite.
Right.
And, no, and
Yes,
Ron's so good. Like, so this is one of those where I have so
Dude,
many quotes.
both
like,
of those shows have such great casts. I mean,
No,
Parks
it
and Rec, you
really
have,
is.
Aziz Ansari,
And
Chris
He's
Pratt,
actually-
Rashida Jones.
Well, honestly,
you have
to
Amy
me,
Poehler.
Tom Haverford and Ann Perkins are my two least favorite characters on the show.
It's impressive.
And so when they are dating, it is the worst part of the show.
It is literally.
Actually, I will take that back a little bit. Because they got rid of him, but I hated Mark Brandanowitz. You don't even know who I'm talking about, do you?
No, I do. I'm just thinking. Yeah.
He's just like
He's the worst.
spinning.
Yeah.
Discount Jim.
Yeah, no, but he's gone by
Discount
what I was,
Jim. That's a good way to
false
put it.
Jim.
I was thinking
False
it's
Jim.
season 2 where he drops off, right? Or
Yeah, because he's in so he's in season 1, and that's when like Leslie kind of likes him. At the very end, he asks out Anne, and then they date in season 2, and then he leaves at the end of that.
That's right. But it's
Because
just,
season 1 is a rough one.
I mean,
again.
it's just so for that show, the comedy song, like you said, Ron, the point where they're like, you need to be more in like with the customer, so they put him in like a circular desk in the middle of the room, and then he's like, I have
he's
a
like-
question, and
he's
he keeps
spinning
like
around.
turning around, avoiding her, and it's just like, I don't know, it has so many good moments.
Maybe
And-
that's where those two shows excel. Is like they do have a lot of characters, but they also have a lot of well-rounded, memorable characters, each for their own way.
that grow and still keep comedy. I just feel
Yeah,
like
well,
they're
very-
well written.
Because even like I said, those main those very minor secondary characters, like you have Creed, still a great character. You
Hilarious,
have,
yeah.
So creepy.
like
Yeah, but
I mean,
it's not-
Donna kind of grows more and more into a
Treat yourself.
more but at the beginning she's not used like at all.
Yeah.
It's almost like filler, but even the filler characters.
Well, no, like in
serve a
Arjun,
purpose.
even Chris Pratt, he wasn't supposed to be
Oh no,
a permanent
it was
part.
just supposed to be the first season.
Yeah, and then they're like, he is so
kills it.
And it's funny, like if you ever have time and you just want to look up something funny.
Oh,
look
the
up-
bloopers
Yeah,
of Chris
look up
Pratt's
Chris
bloopers.
Pratt.
Yes,
Chris Pratt
yes.
bloopers. It is
Oh
like,
my gosh,
So in one of the
those are so
scenes
good.
where he opens the door and he's like
was
naked.
actually
so he
naked.
wasn't supposed to actually be naked, but he was like, I want this to be real. So he's actually naked, and he actually got in trouble. And the studio pulled him aside and was like, you can't do that again. But like Amy Poehler's reaction's real, and the whole cast thought it was hilarious and was like, well done. Like, but he was like, I just want it to be as authentic as possible. Like,
Yeah.
so he did, and it's like even like so when he got the like job for Guardians of the Galaxy, he had to lose all the weight, and they give an explanation in
It's
the
just
show.
oh yeah, I stopped drinking beer.
Yeah. Like, you look at it, you go, so he's like, yeah, I just stopped drinking beer. You'd be surprised
Dude,
in what it does.
you're so ripped now.
And it's just like, I don't know, that show to me has so many, like, when Ron Swanson has the bunny on his foot, and then he goes in and has, like, Dwyer, like, sit there, and he's, like, polishing his shoes, and he goes, oh, and, like, he hits the bunny just right, and then it's, like, this awkward moment between them, like, they're walking in the hallways, I'm like, oh, God, like, so they're just so into me, like, I don't know, I feel like that one is where I get a lot of my... Like, every time I go to a restaurant, I just have the, like, I want to order, like, I
all
want
the bacon and eggs you
I want
have.
all the bacon, and it's like, I think you heard me wrong. I want
all.
all the bacon.
You had me at meat tornado.
And it's like, he's like, I'll order the meat family platter, or the party platter. And
That
he's
serves 12 people,
people.
son. I know what I'm about.
and then she's like, you'll be surprised. He'll eat all of it. It's the most amazing thing ever. there's so many good things. And then like the whole, literally, like me and my brother do
Perkins.
that. Yeah, and Perkins. But like me and my brother do that all the time. We'll be like, I literally want spaghetti right now. Like and
Literally?
yeah. And it's like our parents don't get it because they didn't watch
Yeah,
Parks and
they-
Rec. But
yeah.
me and my brother will just go up and do
Play
that
it
all
up.
the time. Or I'll be like, Rose Whitson?
And like
Like to my mom, and she has no idea what I'm doing. It's so
Or-
great.
Ben is another great character because
Oh, Ben.
to me,
yes.
like you were talking about crap. You were talking about Leonard feeling like you. I feel like I
No,
feel
and
more towards Ben, not like the job he has,
I
but in
agree
terms
with
of
you on
like
that, though.
kind of being like maybe a little awkward in some situations, but like kind of also like geeking out.
Yeah.
in
No, I
others,
totally agree with you, and yeah, I agree with you more than that.
That's
and,
my.
That's your soul.
Well,
That's your.
and I
Your
love
soul
like
brothers.
He
Soul
makes
brother.
the one game. What is it? The cones. The
Cones of Dunshire.
And then they go and then like in the last season they're trying to get.
Dude,
like,
I want to play that
I
game.
know.
we should do
Well,
that.
and
We
it's
should
so
set that
funny
up somehow.
because and I think it's the
You
last
can
season.
buy it, but it's like $120.
Yeah.
Really? We'll launch a GoFundMe or something.
So and I think that like again with their jokes carrying over, like they have that,
Here's
and then
the
like
second one.
in the later season, like he's trying to get the free internet there, and they're like, well, if you beat us at this game, and he's like, I invented this game, and they're like, what? And it was like this big thing. So it's I don't know, and then little Sebastian, which
Little Sebastian.
maybe one of the most pointless characters that you're just.
My little Sebastian.
And I love like Andy. He's like, I just wanted to come up with a song like 1,000 Candles to Win. He's like, what's better than that? 10,000 candles.
10,000.
What's 100 times better or whatever?
Oh,
it's
good.
It's so good, and I don't know everything about that show. Like it's definitely one of those shows. I feel like when I'm having like a harsh day, it's like either The Office or Parks and Rec. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna watch.
You
Those
can
are
never
go-to
go wrong
comedies.
with those ones.
No,
can't.
it's so good, and I don't feel like there's a moment in those shows where I'm truly like, man, the show just I can't stand it. Like, you know, where you're forcing yourself to watch it just because you want. Like, I felt
You're
like
like,
that.
I've invested so much time already.
Yeah, and like How I Met Your Mother, that's how it was like that
Kinda
final
the
season. I was
last
like,
season.
I have to, but I don't really want. It's like I didn't
enjoy
Parks
it,
and-
but I'm gonna
when
definitely
they
finish it.
like when Parks and Rec ended, I truly was like,
Now what?
yeah, exactly.
What
No,
am I supposed to
exactly.
do now?
What do I watch now? Like, what's gonna top that? You know, and same with The Office.
Breaking Bad. But definitely not
That-
a comedy.
I mean, if we want to get into Breaking Bad, I'll be the person who says it. It's overrated. Didn't really
How
care.
dare you? Next
Oh.
topic. I don't want to ruin this good podcast. we got going on.
I stand by it too.
Damn! Shots fired.
Damn, I like Breaking Bad.
It's got
Love
2 good
it.
seasons. The first one and the
Love it.
last one.
Oh,
What?
And I'm not saying that as a joke. Like, I legitimately think
Bro,
that. I hate
bro.
the whole Gus string out.
Gus is one of my favorite villains.
Dude, he's like such
Ever.
a classy bitch.
And plus, the
Da-
Jane, bro, Jane. She is Jessica Jones.
So?
She's hot.
She does.
She's in it. She wouldn't have
Yeah.
if she was Jessica Jones.
No, but here's
No,
the
I think
thing.
Jessica Jones still would have died. if
Here's the
she
thing with
choked
that
on.
though, is it's so like that part is so intense.
I literally only watched it because I felt like I had to since I was from Albuquerque.
You're guilted into it.
I was watching it before. I watched the first season when it came out. Like, and I
I
was
watched
watching
the
it on TV.
first.
I caught the last.
I watched the first 2 seasons. I think when there was only like 3 seasons out, and I didn't really like the second season. I just didn't care, and I kind of dropped off. And then when the 5th season was going, I was like, all right, I gotta watch it.
I will admit, like, at some points it does get dull, but I feel like every TV show has that.
It's
and
my
you just gotta
same
power
complaint.
through
I think it's just AMC.
with the
They have so much
That is
drama I
AMC.
do not care about. Every episode with Skylar, I just want to turn it off
No,
because I
she's
hate her.
But
She was
I get
my
that.
favorite.
I will say though, I have
Cover Marie up.
I have been watching
That
AMC.
klepto.
Cover RJ Mitty.
That klepto.
Just cut this part out. We'll
Why
keep
the
him
sun? Why the sun?
because he's annoying also.
You really
We'll
see
keep Hank
actually
just
has
because
a-
they're minerals, Marie.
You really
I know.
Sun.
You know what?
That
I'm
doesn't
not-
mean that I like his character.
He does such a good job.
You know what I'm not a fan of lately that they're doing is they're making TV series based on movies. Like Lethal Weapon.
Oh
they
yeah,
brought Lethal
or Rush
Weapon.
Hour, MacGyver.
Rush Hour, MacGyver.
Or I guess MacGyver was a TV show
yeah,
originally, but they
even
brought it back.
Limitless. They did.
That was actually a
Oh
good
my
TV
God.
show though.
Yeah,
never saw
you
it.
know,
I
I
really
saw it.
liked
I
it.
didn't mind it. I think
I
they
liked
played up the comedy a little too much, given how
See,
serious it could have been.
I liked. I think
guy-
I liked. If it were more of a standalone thing, I would have
It
liked
got
it.
canceled because it sucked.
Just
for being
in
honest.
general, though, I think I am one of the people who thinks they have too many cop / crime scene /
Oh, they definitely
detective. Like there's
Absolutely
way
agree.
too many of them.
CSI every
How
other
many
city.
different CSIs are
It's
there
like
at
the
this
thing we were
point?
talking about with all the Real Housewives.
No, it's,
CSI, this city, this city,
in all
this
honesty,
city,
like
this
I
city.
did watch Bones, and I liked Bones, but then Bones got to a point where they probably should have just ended it too. You know, because Bones to me was, I mean, and then Dexter was on, and I loved
Love
Dexter.
Dexter. Season 4 is one of the best seasons
Dude,
ever.
yeah, and Dexter, and that was another one where it ended, where you're like,
You didn't like the ending in season 4?
I no, the ending of the show. All
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Some
it was
series
terrible.
finales have.
Yeah,
horror.
series
That-
finales are
yeah.
terrible, but Dexter to me, like, I love Dexter, like, and they do every now and then have these cool twists on things.
Yeah.
Like, but I do agree that the movies and the TV shows, like, I saw the Lethal Weapon one, I'm like, this is.
Well,
There's
the,
so
the thing
many.
that doesn't make sense to me about the
Frequency was
Lethal
another one they
Weapon
did.
ones is it's like the same characters, except it completely changes the story because it's like them
Yeah.
younger, but they're working
Dude,
together. It's like that's not the point.
they
It's Murtaugh
have-
was supposed to be old.
Dude, they have Taken. Taken is a TV series.
Yeah, they're doing too many, and it's really, for me, it's off-putting.
It really shows you that they have no idea.
No creativity.
Yeah, but
anymore.
it just bugs me. I'm like,
So
why?
it's-
And then, to be honest, like, it almost taints the movie.
The original.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
no,
like when
'cause
you have a
it
really
does
good original
disgrace.
and then a really bad sequel. That bad sequel taints the original. Like for me, Independence Day 2, like don't even bother. I don't want to touch on movies, but it's that idea is like, I just
No,
it's
definitely.
more common now that
So-
instead of creating new TV series like Netflix, which we
So,
can touch on.
talking about original stuff and something that actually didn't get the chance. My favorite TV series of all time, Firefly. which
Never seen it.
Sam,
I haven't seen it.
you started watching it once.
I love. I
watched-
love Joss Whedon though.
No.
10 minutes.
That guy.
So and here's my thing with Firefly.
I feel like I do need to watch it. I feel like I would enjoy it. I just never. It's never been one of those where I've been like, all right, instantly hooked, gotta watch it.
Yeah.
So and here's the thing, like I
And it's
love.
only
I like
12
Nathan
episodes,
Fillion.
right?
It is only.
I
yeah,
do like Nathan Fillion.
and Joss Whedon's so good. And
He's a great.
I
writer.
mean, Alan. I don't know.
Trudick.
Is that how you say it? I always said it.
Something
Trudick.
like that.
But it does have a really good cast.
Mm.
Dylan's getting really blown out because of that window, but whatever.
Hey. Anyway,
Dude, you're so white right now.
no, that's just how I was.
That's just how he is.
No, anyway, but for me, Firefly, it's because that was an era almost ahead of its time for the fact, like, he was thinking so far out of the box, like, and doing things that hadn't...
Nowadays,
Imagine if he made it now
nowadays
with
it
the
would just like
technology.
fit in with everything else
Dude,
that we have.
And that's what I think irritates me the most, is it was ahead of its time, and so if it were, like, nowadays, it would have freaking 20 seasons, which obviously wouldn't be good, but it would have been more, like...
well, but even then, I
successful.
don't. Was it really ahead of its time? Because like, there's all the like Battlestar Galactica and Stargate. Like those are all at the same time,
yeah,
weren't
that's true.
they?
Yeah, yeah.
And those have a bajillion seasons.
What,
I've never
what it
seen
is,
them.
Neither
is
have I,
it
but
has like I think, and that's why is because they're like, oh, it's just another one of this, and it isn't. It is different, like because it's Joss Whedon's writing. It's comical when it needs to be, but it also is a very serious tone, and it's like on the brink, like after this whole Civil War thing, like this intergalactic Civil War. So. Just the story in it is, I mean, I think it was playing on like what was in at the time, but he took a very different route than everyone else did, and that's why. And the fans loved it, but it was
It was
like
a cult classic.
it was. And what they did too, though, is it was kind of damned to begin with because they did all this advertising, and then the studio released the second episode instead of the pilot on what their
What?
pilot should have been
What?
released. Yeah, and
weird.
so people
they
watched
released
it.
the second episode as their pilot.
Yes.
by mistake.
I don't feel, and Joss Whedon doesn't feel like it was by mistake either.
Wow,
But-
what? That doesn't make. I'm
Yeah.
a little lost there.
Because, I don't know, but it's like one of the biggest things that they've done. And so everyone that came to watch it didn't understand it because they missed the pilot episode. They're like, I just feel like this is terrible. And then, so they went on, and that's why people originally kind of turned their head. And then it was found out that the pilot wasn't actually released. And then kind of after the fact, people found out and watched that, and they're like, wow, this show is actually really good. And so it's not confirmed whether or not like it was on accident, like
Well, you're never gonna get an answer.
yeah, exactly.
They're not gonna-
And so it was one of those shows that was kind of like doomed to begin with, and then it had such a huge following that like
You got
Nathan
the movie.
Fillion.
You got a movie out of it.
They did get a movie to give you, and then they also had a comic book series like in between the show. It goes show, comic book, then movie.
I'll say, like, I'm surprised with how popular it is now that they haven't.
There's
gone
been
back.
rumors
So-
that fans have petitioned for it.
No, and
they've been
Nathan
rumoring-
Fillion at one point tried to buy it, but what happened is he got kind of, his career got real big, and then,
He got committed to Castle forever.
yeah, and so there's that, and then Joss Whedon got the Marvel thing, and then Alan, how would I say that? He's one of my favorite actors, like, but he...
What's his last name?
Tridici?
Oh, okay.
Shut up.
He's one of your favorite.
Yeah, it's a weird name. Anyway, he actually, spoiler alert, I'm going to say it right now, in Serenity, he had them kill him because he knew his career was going to be taken off, and he's, like, in a bunch of films, right? He does voice acting.
He's a voice for a lot of, like, he's the voice of K290, or I don't remember the exact, it's the robot from Rogue One.
He plays Sonny in
I read
iRobot.
something about that. That was
Yeah.
pretty great.
He plays Sonny in iRobot.
Steve the Pirate. His
the
best
Pirate.
role. Actually, that's the first thing I know him from,
Yeah.
so he's always Steve the Pirate to me.
He's in,
I love Steve the Pirate. They're actually, I heard they were not remaking, but they were doing a sequel to that too.
To what?
Dodgeball?
Yeah.
They should. But he's in Frozen as,
He's in a bunch of stuff.
Weaselton.
Wasn't he in
like
Dollhouse? You were telling me he was in Dollhouse.
Dollhouse, which you still haven't seen, which is a Joss Whedon one as well.
I know.
It's so good. Anyway,
So good. 6 episodes. Yeah.
there's 2 seasons.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My mistake.
You're right. 2 seasons.
My mistake.
But it is one of those ones where it's post-apocalyptic. Anyway, it's fine. But it is one of those ones where Nathan Fillion at one point tried to buy the rights to Firefly to do it, and Joss Whedon tried to at one point, and then their careers kind of
Yeah, they got
took
caught up
off,
in other
but
stuff.
it has been like Nathan Fillion has expressed like I just want to do it, like, and I want to continue it, and
We can now. Castle ended, so.
yeah, and I mean technically, Whedon's not in Avengers anymore, so maybe we will see like an anniversary episode or something small. Who knows? Because how the movie ends, like there's so much time in between. Yeah, there's so much time in between the show and the movie, and then. Like
they could pick it up if it
after
were
the
to...
movie ends. I think it would be like because everyone like people kind of you don't know where they go after the movie because it is kind of like intense. But it is kind of cool having the show and then the movie for a little bit of kind of it doesn't give you full clarity, but and there's still a little bit of mystery because you have to read the comic to know. But it's for me it was like one of my all-time favorites because
for sure.
And I think like part of it is too like it is shorter, so it didn't have the chance to piss me off. You know?
It didn't have a chance to overstay its welcome.
Exactly. For me, it, like, understayed its welcome. So it's like you watch it, you get into it, and it stopped, and you're like, no, why? But it is, like, again, and I'll say, like, Joss Whedon's, like, going even old school, like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which Joss Whedon, I loved. Like, that's all on Netflix, and I've watched all of them. And I just, Nathan Fillion's in one of the seasons, but he's just, I mean... I think he does shows really well, and like Buffy.
Well, he's a great writer.
Again, like Buffy, it's like a teenage show, but it's not really revolved.
It also grows too because it was on a while.
Yeah, and it was on a while, and it definitely does go in different routes than you'd think like a teenage show, especially back in the day would. So it's I think there are those shows that are really good out there that maybe can, and even like I said, Buffy goes a little bit longer, but you don't get the sense of like, this is going on too long. Yeah. So.
Here's your Nathan Fillion tie-in of the week. It's the new segment we're gonna do. Nathan Fillion actually does a voice for the first episode of season 3 of Rick and Morty.
What?
Really? Does he?
Yeah.
He's doing a lot. There's just something else like I heard.
He's in Halo 5. Well, and Halo ODST. But
yeah.
Huh.
And then there was man, and I'm not even trying to remember, but he does do. Oh, I think it's in Guardians. Does like a voice for someone, maybe not. Something else. He's doing a lot of like small time voice stuff, like appearances and stuff like that. But Nathan Fillion, one of my, I love Fillion. He's just good for like a really dumb smart ass character. Like,
well, like even I guess you could kind of call it a TV show, like Dr. Horrible Sing Along Blog.
Oh yes, we were just listening to one of the songs earlier, and that's with Neil Patrick Harris.
That was the first thing I was ever introduced to of Joss Whedon's work.
Yeah, it's definitely good. I will say Joss Whedon. I will watch anything that Joss Whedon comes out with.
Puts his name on, yeah.
Yeah, and sure. I mean, there's been few, if any, things I don't like of his.
I was gonna say he really hasn't had much, like
bad stuff.
I was about to say unsuccess. I was
like, it's like Dollhouse
what?
wasn't really successful, and he says like he kind of jumped the gun a little bit on it. But I still feel like in the show, like. It became more of a mini-series than it did a show because of what.
How do you guys feel about mini-series?
I actually don't.
There's a couple good ones I've seen lately.
Yeah, I don't mind.
But then they always want to make a sequel. I'm like,
that's the problem.
Guys, it's really good. Well, leave it as a standalone. Like there was this show that HBO just had called Big Little Lies, which was based on a book. It follows like a bunch of female characters that are all moms and parents.
Yeah.
And it starts with a murder, and basically it's like 8 episodes.
Yeah.
And you see these characters and their relationships with their kids and how they evolve, and then throughout the story you're kind of trying to piece it together, like who got murdered and who did it, and you don't know until the very end. But it was a miniseries, very well done. Ending was great, but then they're like, wow, everybody loved it, maybe we should do a season 2, but it's like
I feel like,
but then you'd have to have a whole new premise, and
the one that comes up to me is True Detective.
Oh, that's one I want to touch on.
With McConaughey. And
oh my god!
Never actually
dude,
I've heard a lot about it.
It is so good. The first season though,
dude,
season 2 is
the second season
like,
just completely like replaces everybody basically.
Yeah, they don't follow anyone from the
first. It's a brand new story, brand new characters, but it's nothing compared to the first.
And I see what they're like. I'm glad. In all honesty, I'm glad they didn't carry on over from the first season.
Matthew McConaughey wanted to. He was willing to.
Really?
Yeah, but I think there was
worried.
Issues with like timing and scheduling.
I would be really worried how they do it, but that is one of those shows like
it grips you.
I would consider it a miniseries because it's like watch.
It's just a one season.
Yeah, and
story.
it's totally worth watching.
Well, so like obviously what I'm about to say, they've already announced a second season and it is continuing the story, but I have a fear for Stranger Things that it's going to be the same kind of thing. Whereas
yes.
it's a very good one season story.
It is.
We'll have to see
In
how
the Super Bowl,
second season
in the Super Bowl,
goes.
we saw the trailer too.
Well,
Yeah.
teaser. Yeah.
They've
Teaser.
released the trailer, I think,
Have
at
they?
this
Oh.
or I guess it
I
was
don't
just
know
a
when
teaser.
Yeah,
Well, I
but
bring-
you
but,
see
like-
the one land entering the world.
It'll be, like I said, it'll be interesting to see if the second season
I'm for
lives
sure gonna
up
watch
to the
it,
hype
but
of that
you're
first
right.
season.
You're
No,
right.
and that's one of the things I will watch it, but I really do. It is hard when you have these ones that are so good, and it's like you want a second season, but at the same time
You want it to
really,
live up to that
You're
same
really
level.
scared that it's not going
Yeah.
to, because you're like, I don't know.
Well, that's
like,
the thing too, is they're bringing back 11. You know, all the same players are essentially in it, but then it's like, well, where do you
She
go
went
story
into the
wise?
what do they call it? The no. Or
No, the under the.
what is it called?
Oh my gosh, now it's gonna bug me.
The
Under
no, I'm
under the-
I'm blanking it on it. The
not the underworld, but
it's like the the upside down.
the upside down.
There we go.
There you go.
Upside down.
Thank you.
So yeah, because she
The no.
No,
I don't know.
the no land.
But
Look
so
out,
it is-
guys! The no.
And I think that's what's scary too.
Side
now.
note, real quick, they just announced that the sheriff in Stranger Things, David Harbour, he's gonna reboot in an R-rated Hellboy,
Interesting.
like a movie or a show.
a movie. That's kind
That's so
of
hard because Ron Perlman was such a good Hellboy.
yeah, and
Those
everybody
weren't that
wanted.
good of shit movies. But we're not gonna go into Marvel. We talked. We weren't going.
Is
into,
that a
That's
Marvel?
not Marvel.
We're
Is
not
it
going
DC?
into. We're not going to superheroes.
Okay, sorry. Stranger
I will
Things 2, I
stab you.
will absolutely watch it.
I'll
But you're
watch
right.
it, but I'm
I do
scared that
hope that'll be decent.
Because I mean, everything about
But that's another example of Netflix just
Yeah.
killing the game, like bringing in great original content, you know, gripping
Want to know
audiences.
what my
and-
favorite thing about Netflix series are? Their first season all comes out at once, so I can
Their
binge
second
watch
season
it.
does too.
Maybe okay. So
Yeah.
here's a good point to bring up, and I want you guys' opinions on this. Is like, yes, because it's on Netflix, you get your whole season right away. You
love
can
it.
binge watch it.
I love it.
Does that almost like make shows more popular in the sense that you can go through it and it grips people
Absolutely.
faster, as opposed to
Yes,
at least
absolutely.
you're stuck. You can still have your cliffhangers, but then you can be like, oh my gosh, I gotta watch. Boom, next episode. As opposed to waiting for a week, forgetting about it, and then trying to get jazzed about it.
No,
again.
I think it is a new version of television that they need to consider. Well, I mean, it's
well,
also
regular
yeah.
TV would never do that.
You
but
know, they couldn't. But that's
but
why.
that but it almost
Netflix
is an
is-
advantage for Netflix.
It is
It is.
because I think most of us agree. Like even kind of going back to ones we've touched on before with How I Met Your Mother or with The Office, those seasons that are not great,
You can still power through 'em.
It adds to them being bad when it's you wait a full week and that
That's
was the
it?
episode.
That's it.
Whereas when you can just go, okay, that was a bad episode, but I got another one and another one, another one. Like you can just kind of power through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do think that binge watching a show like that is better.
Yeah.
It's harder, not to say that it's bad, because I still will like binge watch Daredevil or Westworld, but like those ones obviously you're not going to get as many episodes in a row.
'Cause they're
Right,
longer.
because they're longer. Yeah.
But it's still nice to be able.
But
to
it is
do
nice
it.
to have that ability, because even with like Rick and Morty, I binge watched 2 seasons in a day and a half.
Boom.
Watch the only one available from season 3, and then it's like, well, now I have to wait.
But you're all caught up.
But
not-
now I have
Yeah,
to wait.
but now you have to wait.
Or even with like Game of Thrones, like I caught
Mm-hmm.
up in season 2, and so it's like every year it's like, all right, I've been waiting for this moment.
waited in-
I get a few episodes, like I get an episode.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have to wait and contemplate that one, which is like I do like because you get those discussions.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
But
Make
it is nice to just have it all available.
No,
it
for
makes
sure.
a bad episode harder. I feel because like you waited
'Cause
all
you're
that
stuck.
time and
You're
then
stuck
you
with it.
exactly,
Or if it's like a setup episode, even it's not necessarily bad, but it's just like, oh, this is clearly all just an episode to set up the
That's
next
exactly
one
my biggest complaint
Yeah,
about
no.
Walking Dead. They're all freaking setup episodes
with no
But-
payoff.
with no payoff. But you're right, and that was one of the things that really got me into Game of Thrones. Was I started like not right away. I think I started watching it when I was in its 3rd or 4th season, but I had HBO Go at the time, and I was able to just watch them all, like
Exactly.
really back to back, and I was like, this is amazing.
Well, that like for me it was nice because I started watching Game of Thrones. I think by the time season 3 was out, so
Yeah, because we started watching season 3 together.
and so I was able to buy season 1 and 2, and I just watched them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I sat and watched them all, and it was so nice being able to. Now, Game of Thrones is one of those episodes I will sit down and like
Oh, for sure.
do it, but it does make it harder when like it. I just love binge watching things because it is better.
Well, because you get that you get that taste for that show, and you want to just keep
Yeah.
going.
I know some
rolling with
people
it.
that they'll have the show start, the big new season, and they'll purposefully not watch it until there's like
I've
5
done-
episodes
I-
in, so
I've
they
done
could
that.
then.
I can't do that because if it's a show that I really like,
You're afraid of
I
spoilers.
want to. Well, it's not even that. It's just I
You
want
wanna
to
watch
see it.
of course.
Like
Like
if
it takes
there's
a lot of
something,
self-discipline.
if
to
there's
do
something
that.
that's available that I haven't seen, I want to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I do that, but the reason I'm able to do that is because I watch
So much other shows, yeah.
like shows constantly. Like I kind of put
Well-
it on the back of my mind, like just don't think about it, just don't
And
we're
there
watching
probably
this.
are shows that I could do that for, but
Mm-hmm.
for Game of Thrones, I'd never be able to get to that point for sure.
That was kind of an extreme example because we all
Yes.
have Game of Thrones on a very high
Um,
pedestal.
Yeah, I know. That's true.
Like,
There's even some shows that I like on Netflix that have seasons that I haven't watched yet,
Yeah.
and I'm almost like I want to. I know I'm gonna revisit it at some point, but I just haven't yet.
No, I do
Like
this too.
House of Cards is one. I
I've
saw
never
like
actually seen it.
yeah, it's different. It's political, but
You
it's very
used to
interesting.
talk so highly of it.
No,
Now
I
it's
love
just
it. Well,
different.
Well, that's
They've
because
got
I
a
haven't
new
watched it
season
in forever.
coming out.
Yeah, but to be honest, I'm like 3 seasons behind. I've only seen the first 2 seasons. I think they're coming out with
I think
5
this is
now.
the 5th one.
So,
And I do that.
but then because I did that, I can binge watch it. Even with like Orange Is the New Black, I'm not caught up.
Never seen any of it.
So I think one of the big like hidden ones in my library that I watch is the 100, which I'm super into sci-fi. So this is like after all the
It's like a
nuclear-
Roswell one, no or no?
It's what?
Is that? It's a sci-fi, right?
Yeah,
But
it's sci-fi. So what happened is after like when the world was like nuking itself to death, like they had a space station that brought up a bunch of people in the space station, and it's so many years passed, and then now the space station can't withhold them, so they send 100 juvenile delinquents down to Earth.
Oh,
to see,
somebody
like-
told me about this.
Yeah, and then
That's
they're like,
probably him. Because
Maybe
I've
it
heard about
was.
it.
and so they go down there, and they're actually people that were able to survive the
like the nuclear.
nuclear stuff. And
Is
so
this
like,
on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And so
I'll
some
check
people
it
are
out.
in a bunker. Other people just like they said like had a gene or something happened where they don't exactly know
Almost
how
like
they survived.
mutated.
Yeah. And so at this point there is still nuclear stuff on the ground, but since everyone's been so close to the sun and everything, they say like humans have adapted to nuclear stuff. And so they're down there, and then so it's primitive kind of stuff with like mixture of newer technology. And then at one point like the space station they come down, and then this tribe of people, and then the people in the bunkers have like their way of living is pretty much the people that can like have a resistance to nuclear stuff. They're stealing their blood to like
Of course.
kind of circle. But it's definitely a sci-fi, but it's really good. Like in this last season, I just saw had like a cool real twist that like no one saw
That-
coming. So
That kind of reminds me, did you ever see the show Terra Nova? It was one season,
heard
then it
about
was
that.
canceled.
I've heard about it. Everyone
It-
was super pumped about it, and then
It had a couple good moments, because I actually watched the full thing, and like, for those who don't know, the premise is literally, it's like dystopian future, too many people on Earth, so the way, and like not enough resources, so the way they get around that is they start sending people back in time to
What?
live in the
What?
prehistoric age when they're
With dinosaurs, right?
exactly.
Oh my god.
So there's no, like, they don't have to worry about overpopulation because there is really no population back then, and there's like a ton of resources that they can take from back then and send it to the future.
Oh my gosh. That's
But
very
it
interesting.
just was like poorly executed.
Yeah, I feel like the
I feel like
concept's
the
interesting.
idea is
Yeah,
pretty cool.
But I feel like that's a lot of stuff. Is someone will have like a cool idea,
and then it's just like,
and then it
why'd you
just
go that
doesn't
route?
work for like a full season
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
So, but the 100.
How many
something
seasons are
with
there of that
watching-
one?
There's probably about 4 seasons now, 3 or 4 seasons.
3 or 4?
I think
Actually,
we're at 4.
a show that I've been meaning to watch is Vikings, because I feel like
Yeah,
I
and
would
I-
like.
I
I've
hear
heard
that's
I've
really
heard
good.
good stuff about
It's
that
on
one.
It's on Hulu. I saw
Hulu.
that.
I need to watch it. 'Cause that one's pretty cool. Because I do like shows like that are kind of old. Like, and even with the 100, it's like newer, but it's sensitive.
But it's not like present time.
Exactly.
either,
Like
you
it's
know,
it's in the future, but they have to act like they're in the present. So I do like stuff like that. You know, that is definitely like an appeal to me. And Vikings is one of those ones that I do. It's been on my list, but I just recently got Hulu, and I've been watching other stuff, and then
Yeah,
I did see that on that the other day. So
just wanted to check out.
And there's always Futurama, which is just great.
Futurama.
Futurama.
Is that on Hulu too?
No,
it's on Netflix.
Futurama's on Netflix now.
All this season.
Did you know that Amelia Clark does a voice in one of the later seasons? I think it's the
Does
last
she?
season. She's the girl who dates Zoidberg.
The one that can't smell?
That's Khaleesi.
Wow, I
Khaleesi.
didn't know that.
Huh. She's good. She needs to do more stuff. Except for
She's
Terminator.
in something that's coming out soon.
Just not
I'm
Terminator.
blanking on what it is.
They need to just not do Terminator.
They need to stop making They just need to stop.
Terminator
making
2 is where they should have stopped.
Or at least, like, I'm not against reboots, and there are some movies that shouldn't be rebooted, though. I do not want to see a Terminator reboot.
No.
I do not want to see... Unfortunately, some of these we've kind of already seen.
Yeah.
Like, let's not see Back to the Future. Never reboot the original Star Wars. That would be terrible.
Oh,
I don't think
if
they could
they
do it.
think
Wow.
of that,
But I'm just saying,
it
like,
would be
because
such a
the thing
bad-
with the Terminator ones is they're like rebooting, but they're sequels. They're still like somehow
Because
tied
they're
into
messing
it.
Yeah.
with time.
Yeah.
It's
timelines. That's where they try to get cute with it, and then it's the idea sounds cool, but the implementation is just like what?
But like the last one where John Connor is a Terminator.
This goes back against everything we've been told.
It's terrible. I mean, on the other note, though, the Planet of the Apes ones have been good.
I've
reboots.
been I
enjoyed
still
those.
think they're dragging it out too much. I think they should have.
I think
taken
they're
over
ending
a
with.
lot, lot
I think
sooner.
they're ending with
Is
this
it
one
okay?
because they wanted to do a new trilogy, and this will be the third. But
I just think like my issue with, again, I don't want to get too much into the movies,
Right.
but my issue with the way they've done the new Planet of the Apes ones is that every time it seems like, oh, after the first one, the apes are kind of like on the pathway to victory. Like obviously they take over like one area,
isolated area.
and then it's kind of like, oh, but they kind of took over a lot of the world with the help of like a virus, but they're kind of not really trying to take it over.
Yeah, no. They're
Oh,
just
but
trying
then
to exist.
the humans start something, and then again the apes are like they win.
Yeah,
Oh, but then
barely.
they decided to be like just like go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like it's like.
Woody Harrelson's gonna be in it in the last one.
And he says the title.
What does he say? What is the title?
This
on it?
will be the war
Well, no,
of the planet
It-
of apes.
he
Something
says
like
like
that.
if we don't prevail, this will be a planet of
Of
apes.
apes, right?
It's like there are some.
a little too on the nose
I
dialogue
don't
there.
mind a title being said in a movie or a show.
It always
But
reminds me
there
of
are
the episode
some
of Family
way-
Guy. It was like,
Yeah,
"Ah,
yeah.
said the title."
But there are
Yeah.
like you have to work it in a natural way. That did
Right.
not feel
It felt
natural
forced.
at all. I hope it's not an actual line in the movie. I hope
It
it
could
was
just for the trailer.
teaser.
Yeah, I hope so.
I guess like one other question I want to ask kind of before we go. I know I said we weren't going to talk about Marvel or
That's okay.
comics. Have you guys seen any of Legion? Because I've heard it's good, but I
Oh, that's
haven't
new.
seen it.
No, I haven't. That's on FX, I think.
That's the X-Men one, right?
Yes.
Well, yeah, isn't Legion's character Charles Xavier's son?
Oh, I don't know.
somebody
I don't know
said-
anything about him. I've heard
I
it's
think it
good,
is,
but I
yeah,
haven't
yeah.
seen it.
But I don't even
it's
know
on
if the
Hulu.
TV's gonna, if the TV series would correlate that fact.
Well, what happened was.
But I
Fox-
did hear it was good. From what I understand, it was decent, and they've already got picked up for a season 2.
But
They're
here's-
also making some other thing called like Gifted Youngsters or something. Which
Oh,
is
like a
another-
young X-Men.
Because
game.
Maisie
That's a
Williams
TV
was
Yes, I just saw that too. Yeah.
cast for it. She
She's
plays
in Game of
Arya.
Okay.
Game of Thrones.
So,
And she's playing a character called like Wolfsbane, who turns
Is she?
into a wolf.
Oh, jeez.
so here's my problem with that: is Fox saw that Marvel on Netflix, or like Marvel's been successful doing TV shows, and they're like, we want to get on that using their characters still instead of just giving them the rights back.
Again, like I've heard it's a good show, but I just haven't seen it. So I was wondering if either of you had seen it. But
I haven't.
We won't go into
I've
it.
seen the trailer.
Yeah, it looked interesting.
And who? There's a main actress or someone in it. I'm trying to think.
I don't
From
actually
Legion?
think I've even seen the
Yeah,
trailer.
I don't know. I think
I feel like I
there
followed
might be,
someone on
but
Instagram
I
who's
think
in it or something.
mainly in like up
Is
and coming.
Plaza? Is
Aubrey Plaza.
she in it?
I don't
Is she
think
in
so.
it? No.
No.
Okay. I don't remember who it was.
Is there any shows that we haven't talked about that we feel that we need to absolutely
There's
talk
so many.
about?
There's so many
TV,
shows. There's
But like
probably
that,
much
that you
TV.
feel like we have to talk
that we
about.
have to talk about.
Because we didn't. There's like there's a bunch that we didn't talk about that,
Yeah.
but I don't feel like it's worse off by not saying. Yeah, Aubrey Plaza is. And
Ha!
Dang, spot on,
Suck it.
sir.
Yeah, I know shit.
I mean, she's a very distinctive person.
Y'all didn't.
Yeah,
know
that's
it.
true.
I've never seen the
Oh,
trailer.
So, the one is
Huh.
Entourage.
Yes. Oh, I
Like,
love
Entourage is probably one of my favorite, and I don't know, would that be considered a sitcom without?
No.
Damn it.
I don't think it's a sitcom.
What would you
Doesn't
consider?
sitcom stand for like situational comedy?
That is kind of
I think so.
situational, and it has comedy.
I guess. I don't know if it's a sitcom though.
But
It's
anyway,
like a buddy flick.
that for me, that's like your like
Yeah.
how girls have their Pretty Little Liars. That's like the bros, like
Yeah, that's true.
Entourage, like, and that show's just.
I enjoyed that show. That show's
I mean,
great.
Ari, Like,
There's a lot of Ari
It's
made the
just
show.
considered comedy/drama.
Ari Gold.
that is a
But
freaking sitcom.
I'll look and see what they say for some of the other ones, like How I Met Your Mother.
Those are sitcoms for sure, though.
Yeah. But so for me,
I'm
that's
saying
just,
it to see if
yeah,
it actually
Right.
says sitcom.
Entourage was just the
No, it
only
just
one
says
I-
comedy romance for How I Met Your Mother.
See, so it is a sitcom.
Well, now we're
with-
gonna look up the official definition of sitcom.
Sitcom.
punch you. But so Entourage for me is just one. like,
Yeah.
and you had told me about it, and I'd watched it.
Yeah, I actually
It
got
was-
into that after it ended.
It was so good.
But
Yeah.
a buddy told me back in the day, it's a good buddy bro flick.
It's great.
funny.
It has its good moments.
Ari Gold is just Jeremy Piven kills it. In that
Dude,
role.
I just no one can do that role any better than he does it.
No, he's like the
Like,
glue for the show.
No, it's
But every
so-
character in that show is funny.
it's
and
it's a
enjoyable.
really fun show. So if you guys are ever looking for a good bro film,
And yeah, it's a movie too. They had one.
Yeah.
But they're not
Oh
gonna do
yeah, I
another
haven't
one.
seen the movie.
You guys check it out.
And Mark Wahlberg's actually a producer for the show, isn't he?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
even had a little cameo in the movie too.
Oh, did
but
he?
yeah, but he's
Okay.
a big producer for
A
it.
situational comedy or sitcom is centered around a fixed set of characters who carry on from episode to episode.
Every TV show ever.
Let's see. Maybe recorded in front of a studio audience.
I don't think that's
imi-
applicable.
Enhanced by the use of a laugh track.
Entourage does not have a laugh track for sure.
So it is laugh track. Okay, never mind. It's not then. But I also think
Laugh
it's
tracks
not,
are dated.
Yeah.
Move on from that, people.
Freaking hate them.
Yeah, they
It almost takes you out of it.
It
So-
does, because it's just a forced laugh. And the thing
is.
is, if a laugh, I wouldn't mind it, because I feel like How I Met Your Mother does it better, because it's like,
I didn't notice it as much.
it's
in
very
Hyman.
specific, whereas like, I've been watching that 70s show, I never watched it when it was originally going,
Oh,
Yeah.
and it's like, we're talking, and, I say something to set up a joke, ha 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 ha, you say one word, ha 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 ha, I go, ha 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 ha,
Oh
it's
my
like,
gosh.
come on, like,
Yeah.
not every single one of those things warrants a laugh.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
If you guys
exactly.
have learned anything from this at all, it's laugh tracks suck.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
yeah, we could leave them with that.
Yeah.
Laugh tracks suck.
Yeah, that's the moral of this really long podcast is laugh tracks.
I talked last week about how we weren't introducing ourselves and we never introduced
Oh
ourselves.
my God.
Hi, I'm Dylan.
I'm RJ.
I'm Jordan, and that's
didn't-
no. I'm
And
kidding.
this
We
is
didn't do it 'cause he
episode
was
17.
late. Yes.
This is episode 17.
We didn't do it because
It's fair enough. We've had
I was
some-
late though. That is true. I wasn't here for the start, so technically.
Well, technically,
You
you
guys-
were here for the start. We just didn't tell you.
Well, that's
we were
okay.
starting.
I figured you guys would, but then I got distracted. Okay.
It's okay. If there's something we forgot, you guys should tell us.
Write us in the comments.
And maybe
Subscribe
it's a show we've never seen, and
for
we
the
should
love
watch
of God. Subscribe to our YouTube.
Dude, did you see how many people we had watch our video last week?
Yeah, we had like 4.
24.
24.
No way, 24.
Yeah,
It's the
24.
mic. It's definitely this guy.
And then before that, it was 17.
All right, moving up.
So
One of these days we're gonna
see.
go on.
All 8 of our
iTunes.
subscribers. Except that I think the 2 of us are them.
You're not.
I'm a subscriber.
Dare you? You're out of the group.
Can you prove it right now?
Forced laugh track.
Yeah, I get updates every time you post.
Last
something.
time you asked me for the log on to the thing so you could watch it.
No, I was adding.
Yeah, what was that about?
So I found you could switch profiles on YouTube. So I wanted the next topic profile on my YouTube.
What? Okay. We'll
you
have
say
to follow up with that on there, off air.
I'll show you right now on air in the post credits.
now. Are we in post credits? All right,
We're not post
next
No,
time.
not yet.
No?
I was saying
Okay,
right
so-
now, but so you can end it.
Yes. I guess should we just say that
Subscribe to our YouTube. Check us out on all of our social media.
Notifications on mine. Anyway, next week.
he didn't get my on Mary Poppins, y'all, reference in the last one.
I
He somehow missed that quote.
forgot about it because there were so many good quotes. In that one.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, next week we're going to be playing a fun game. And again, if you guys have any challenges, let us know.
Or if you guys have any ideas of stuff you want to hear us talk about and
Yes.
banter about, you're always welcome to suggest those as well.
Leave it in the comments on the video on the YouTube or our social media stuff on
Facebook, Twitter,
Yeah.
Instagram. And then until next time on Next Tupac.
Oh!
No! Now they're mad. Now they're
Bye.
mad.